Hi, I'm Debbie Hughes, and in today's video I'm creating a style of Christmas card that stands the test of time with its simple, traditional, botanical focal point. You will find links to the products that I've used today in the YouTube description below, or if you're on my blog you'll find them at the bottom of the post in the thumbnails. The Joyful Season set I used on this card came as part of the December 2020 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. I'll run through the kit contents, but you'll find the items individually too. Starting off with the candy cane heart die set. This set comes with 2 candy cane base, stripes and strings to hand the candy canes, and when positioned together they make a cute heart shape. Next is the Joyful Season stamp set, which has beautiful lined holiday foliage images, as well as sentiments that really hit home at the moment. Missing you at Christmas time, as we're apart this Christmas, dreaming of when we can once again gather together, as well as many general holiday sentiments. I'm grabbing for the touchy-feely element of the kit next with the lovely velvet ribbon trims from Holtz. Don't think that they've scrimped on that silver grey ribbon, it's just that I've already used that one to adorn a gift to a friend, and it really adds an opulent touch. You'll never run out of an accent for your cards with the Carta Bella Dear Santa ephemera. So many tags, banners, frames and more, and they coordinate perfectly with the Simple Stories vintage North Pole paper. One of the things I love about pattern paper like this is that there are often a bolder side with stronger patterns, and then on the reverse, a subtle side with toning pattern to match. I guess it would be no surprise that I'm drawn to the back side of most pattern papers. We then get onto the useful elements to the kit. There's a mini bottle of glossy accents, which always comes in handy, and then 3 envelopes. A lovely metallic craft one, just look at that shimmer. Another metallic, this time in Schoolhouse Red, and finally a white envelope. The card included in the kit is a midnight green, lipstick red, and 2 sheets of Neenah Solar White. Now you may have spotted that one element is missing from my kit. When this was sent to me, the exciting new colour from Holtz had yet to be released, but included in the kit will be a mini rustic wilderness distress ink cube, and you can't get more current and on trend than that. For my card, I concentrated on the Joyful Season kit stamp set. I used a piece of Fabriano Artistico Extra White Cold-Pressed watercolour card, placed in the mini Misti and stamped the mistletoe image from the set in antique linen distress ink. I then taped the card to a board and started painting. I kept the stamp set to the side of me so that I could use that for reference while painting. There are a lot of overlapping leaves and it helps to have a reference point. I used Daniel Smith paints, starting with a mix of undersea green with a touch of ultramarine blue, and picked a leaf to start painting and worked my way from there, leaf after leaf, until I had a base of colour down, making sure not to paint 2 areas next to each other until they were dry. I then moved on to the ribbon and used Pyrrole Crimson for that. I stuck to my usual method of base layer followed by deeper layers of colour, slowly building the image until I was happy with it. As the leaves are small, I used round size 1 brushes, laid down colour, drew the colour out with a damp brush and repeat, round and very therapeutic. I'll leave you with some music while I continue to paint, and I'll come back in to describe the final elements shortly. Sometimes I like the crispness of a lone watercolour botanical on clean watercolour card, and other times I like to mess it up a bit. Today I was after more of a vintage tea-stained look. I splattered with white gouache, perfect pearl solution and leftover paint, then brought in a light wash of creamy browns around the edges. I added a couple of layers of this until I had the look I was after, but by this time I'd lost some of the splatter, so I went back in with the gouache and leftover paint again. I planned to cut this painted panel down, but when I lifted the painter's tape, I really liked that narrow border around the edge. However, it needed something else, and so I cut a strip of Simple Stories pattern paper from the kit. The base of the paper was a little stark white in comparison to the creamy colour of the watercolour card though, and so I gently blended a little antique linen distress ink over the paper strip to tone it down. A simple card like this didn't need much for the sentiment. I took a greeting from the Joyful Season set and stamped it in clear embossing ink on black card, which I treated with an anti-static powder to prevent embossing powder randomly sticking everywhere. I then sprinkled with white embossing powder and heat set before trimming to a skinny banner. To compile the card, I added Scor-Tape to the back of the paper strip and adhered that to the side of a Neenah Desert Storm card cut from the sturdy 100-pound weight. I placed the watercoloured panel on top with foam tape and also added the sentiment strip with foam tape too. Finally, I embellished with a trio of eggshell pearls kept in place with Gina cake net glue, and that completes this simple traditional watercoloured Christmas card. I'll leave links in the YouTube description to the products that I've used today, as well as a coordinating link to the blog post over at limedoodledesign.com. I want to thank you for joining me today, and if you've enjoyed this tutorial, I'd be delighted if you'd give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel. Also, if you'd like to get notified when a new video is out, don't forget to hit the bell button next to the subscribe button too. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.